I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Got a roof for all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like $1 million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that just be bodying everything?
Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Madden 19 on EA Sports. On deck, we've got what should be a great matchup between the Detroit Lions and the London Bulldogs. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, thank you. We are about 4,300 miles away from you there in Orlando as we come to you from the European home of the NFL, London, England. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Detroit Lions and the London Bulldogs. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. Charles, you look at the Londoners as they get ready here. They come in losers of 2 straight, so they're trying to right the ship here a little bit.
They're teetering a little bit, aren't they? And now things could really go south if they lose this game, so they understand the importance of playing well and stopping this streak.
Meanwhile, for the Lions here, they too were losers last week, so they're also hoping to get back in the win column.
Something's got to give in this one, right? Both teams want to start a new streak, and they both want it to be a victory. This should be a fun one.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Big 20. Set. 180.
The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. Kenny Clark, the big D tackle there to make the stop.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line.
Ready.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And Matthews has it right side. And right away, he lost the football. And the defense has come up with it. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
Now this offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. And this is caught by Martavis Bryant. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. They give them 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
Brandon, so many times we see the crossing route start as a quick hitter, but in this play, he had time in the pocket and waited for him to clear going across.
Now the man from UTEP, this is Aaron Jones. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. A'Shawn Robinson there on the stop.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Here we go. 58. Hey, 88.
On play action, Rodgers. This is caught at the 8. And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. 18 yards on his first catch of the game. It's a first down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
Hey, take 26. 319.
Rodgers going to throw. And it's caught. Touchdown. Hunter Henry, his first touchdown on the year. And his guys have taken a first-quarter lead. And he's such a talented tight end, just creates nightmarish-type matchups on the other side.
He's so good that when we say tight end, we're almost damning him with faint praise, aren't we? Because he can do it all. He's as good as any receiver in the NFL.
Well, that's the deal. He's a wide receiver, just in a bigger body.
Bigger body, a matchup nightmare, and who's going to cover him? When I sit in the film session, I just look at the coach and say, really? Really? You going to yell at me? You go cover him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. So out now come the Lions. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And finally out of bounds just inside the 10. It's a big play there for the Lions. 48 yards.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, here's Stafford. He's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. In for the score. And the Lions are an extra point away from tying this thing up.
That's almost just not right. You cover everybody, but those tight ends, they can be awfully reliable.
Very reliable. The defense just has to hate those guys.
This drives them crazy because oftentimes you can't match up with them. They have you either with size, speed, or maybe even just strength.
Extra point up and through by Myers. And we are tied at 7. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And here now the offense heading back out there. And for them a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked. But you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. On play action, it's Rodgers. Buying time to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. What can't Aaron Rodgers do? The legwork there getting him to first.
Hey, tick 26.
Throwing on first down is Rodgers. Escaping the pressure right. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 7 yards the pickup on the pitch and catch. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn it into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
From the gun on third down, Rodgers. It's caught. Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Call it a gain of 10, and they pick up the first. From the gun, it's Rodgers. Out left side here to Bryant. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. On 1st and 10, here's Rodgers. Got an open man, it's Valdez-Scantling. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with it.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
319! 319!
They'll pitch it out to Jones. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Throwing is Rodgers. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
These kickers now, it's like we take them for granted. Kicks like that used to be such a big deal, and now you just expect them to make it.
Yeah, you're exactly right, and we shouldn't take them for granted, but I have a theory about it. You want to hear it?
Yep.
They are more athletic now than ever before. Talk about kickers. Trace their backgrounds, trace their histories. You'll find that they were big-time athletes all along, but their kicking was so prevalent that we made them specialists.
Well, and now those 50-plus yarders seem easy for some reason. Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before that he always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
Back to throw, Stafford. To the right side and complete to Hurst. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, Tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
Now a first down throw. Stanford. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
Throwing deep for Golladay. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Josh Jones. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. The drive starting with a first down, 11 yards on that pickup.
The good old toss play. And this time they go to the left side, so give a lot of credit to the offensive line. Center, guard, tackle, able to seal that side. But the guy that we don't give enough credit to, wide receivers. They have to do a great job of blocking downfield. Otherwise, that play can be spilled in the backfield. In this case, everyone handled their responsibilities, and they picked up really nice yardage. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, it's Jones. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on third down. They fake the give. Now Rodgers. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A big third down conversion with a gain of 28. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged, because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Hey, check 26.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And that is incomplete. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Wide left. Zoom, zoom.
Rodgers will try again on second down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they didn't completions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Go to 50.
Throwing is Rodgers on third down. They'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And down to the 19-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. Into the red zone. It's Rodgers. Going to throw right side here. Complete. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. That throw good for 4. It's second down. And again, it's Rodgers. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. On 1st and 10, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. And before this second down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. To throw on second down is Stafford. Flushed out right. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Now a second timeout called for by the defense, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. And defensively going with a dime set. 6 DBs on 3rd and 4. A shotgun snap for Stafford. And the 3rd down pass falls incomplete.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
Aaron Rodgers, he's getting ready to go again here on offense. He's got the lead here in the second quarter. He's thrown the touchdown, but also an interception. As a quarterback, does that interception, even though you're playing well, your team's got the lead, does that always stick in the back of your mind a little bit?
For the best ones, it just upsets them that they did that, because they don't think there should be any blemishes on their record. They think that they're way better than that. So your confidence gets tested a little bit. Being able to go back out there, maybe throw another touchdown, that'll tamp that down in a big way.
Yeah, because he's looked pretty good to this point. Now Rodgers. They'll roll him out right. Caught on the right side by Adams. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. As they say here in London, all to play for as we are back underway in the second half. To return, here's Agnew. Oh, what a move. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And his guys are going to add on to their lead. And you've used the phrase with me before, pressing the kicking game. What exactly does that mean? Because they did it there.
It means focusing on it, all aspects of it, because it's the third part of the game. Offense, defense, special teams. If you press the kicking game, create an advantage, make a big play, it often leads to victory.
Now Gold for the extra point. Gold with the extra point, and his guys will take a 10-point lead. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is. Right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. On second down, here's Mixon. Fights him off. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the gun on third down, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
Here comes the Lions punter now as he'll kick it away for the second time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 20. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Now this offense about ready to take over again. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Sean Robinson with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. Well, you don't usually get a sack from a nose tackle spot, but we got one there.
No, we don't, and a lot of the times in passing situations, they end up off the field anyway. So how happy was he to work his way back to the quarterback and put him on the ground? He's going to have to put a nickname after something like that, some Big Jelly or something like that.
And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. That'll get a little bit back, give him 5 on the run, and they'll be left with a 3rd and 13.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
The offense on 3rd down, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Shotgun now for Rodgers. Wide open receiver complete. He's got this to the 30 before being taken down. His first catch, and it's a pretty big one. They get the conversion on 3rd down.
Hey, check 26. Hey, check 26.
Rodgers now on 1st down. The left side completion to Jones. And he will take it in for the touchdown. A great play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And his guys find a way to stretch that lead.
And that's another route that defenders would vote to take out of the game.
The wheel route?
Oh, without a doubt. You're just trying to move everybody in one direction. And whether it's a running back or another receiver, as they zip out on the sideline, you've got a problem on your hands.
Yeah, well, the defenders hate it there. It happened, and it resulted in a touchdown. Gold able to tack on the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So that drive spanned 5 plays. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Lion offense now as they get ready to take over. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Dumps it off to Mixon. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. Jordan Matthews, the one he was looking for. And it'll bring up 3rd down.
This has been a really nice day for the defense. They've made it so difficult to find open receivers because they're able to squeeze the passing lanes down. A lot of what they're doing is communicating. Receivers in one area, receivers in another area. They're almost what they call passing them off from one defender to the next, even in zone defenses, and making it very hard to find them.
This is intercepted. Kevin King with a pick.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? I mean, they score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you think you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
It's still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal. 2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Now Jones. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. A great effort there with his 2nd touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And his guys capitalize on the short field as they take it in for 6. Gold to add the extra point. Gold with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. The drive there only spanning 3 plays, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all the...
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. picked off at the 38, and his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
319! 319!
They'll try and get the running game going with Jones. Finding room to the 20. And all the way in for the touchdown. A great play there. 34 yards. And that interception key as it leads to the touchdown. He's got the hat trick. 3 touchdowns now.
Did you throw yours? Did you throw yours out?
I didn't have mine. You've got yours. You've got one of those Abe Lincoln hats.
Yeah, and that stovepipe is going right out there for him. A nose for the end zone. 3rd time today. I think he deserves the tip of the cap.
Now Gold for the extra point. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that will extend this big lead. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Stafford. Left side, caught by Matthews. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. The Lions on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. Here it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Darren Lee coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Here comes the Lions punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. Fielded at the 20. 34 yards on the return, but for a moment looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
Get reset. Hey, easy. Where y'all going? Get reset. Hey, easy.
Now a 1st down carry by Jones. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
A'Shawn Robinson coming out of the University of Alabama. A big, physical, intimidating force who had to learn to play with more leverage. Otherwise, he was going to get blown off the ball in the NFL. Looks like he's learning his lessons after that play.
The first carry for Josh Adams. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
Welcome back now here in London. And now on third down, they'll need to get it to the 36 to pick up the first. Rodgers now to throw. Flush to his right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on fourth.
3 down. Hey, check 26.
They'll go for it. It's Rodgers. Eluding the pressure right. Looking deep for Adams. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Lions will take over. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that, saying, oh, wow. Talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches, as a general rule, that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Set, lady.
On first down, it's Stafford. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball, because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
To throw on second down. Stafford, quick throw, that's complete on the inside slant. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. The quick slant, good for 8 and a first.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Stafford on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
Set, 180.
2nd and 10, Stafford again. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face third down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on second down. That was a positive play, because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives them a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
You ready, lady?
3rd and 2, Stafford. Oh, he almost intercepted it. They're just forcing it into too many tough spots. That was almost a 4th pick of the game. And now 4th down. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, those 3 points likely not going to matter much, but I guess they get a little closer, a little more respectability.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been outplayed all game long, but like my mom used to tell me all the time before I went out, dress up a little bit, son. Make yourself respectable. And that's what they're doing here. They're just dressing up the final score.
And this one won't bounce their way. It's covered up by the hands team. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He is fully awake now. If he didn't get off to the start that he normally does, they've got his attention. He's running it well.
You think they set off the alarm clock at the half? You think that's what went down? I know this, having played on the defensive side of the ball, if you do a really good job against a great runner and you go into the half, you're excited, you're fired up, you think the game plan is working, but in the back of your head, there's that little bit of nagging doubt. Can we do this for 4 quarters? So far, that's not happening. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Now a play fake. Rodgers. A dump underneath to Jones. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. A much better effort we're seeing from him under center this week versus last week when he threw 4 picks.
He has thrown to 1 in this game, but you're right. When you cut it down from 4 the previous week, and we always talk about adjustments, well, he made some in practice, and he continues to work on it during the game. I'm sure he's getting plenty of reminders about how to stay in the moment, stay focused on the task.
And he's got him in the driver's seat here in the 4th quarter. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Here's Rodgers to throw. That is caught inside the 5. A good pickup there of 22. They have the nice cushion. They just want to pour it on right now, still throwing the football.
And I know my background says, why do you need to do this? Just go ahead and run out the clock and get a win. But as many people pointed out to me, it's a video game, man. Go ahead and put the numbers up. Sportsmanship, not an issue.
Exercise those fingers.
Hey, Lex. No.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Just a little bit of a rough stretch. 6 interceptions now in these last 2 weeks combined.
I know the easy thing is to go back to mechanics, footwork, things of that nature. I'm also wondering, is he getting fooled by what he's seeing on defense? Has the scouting report changed? Are they showing him things different than what he expected? For the 2nd week in a row, he's throwing it to the guys in the wrong color shirts.
Yeah, he better figure, whatever the reason is, he better figure it out.
Set, lady.
Now a first carry for their fullback. And he'll take this up to about the 7 or 8 yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Now, that's tough duty for a strong safety because truly he's a hybrid-type player. A pass defender, which makes him more of a defensive back, but really his tackling ability is like a linebacker. So they don't mind coming up and taking those guys on, but that's a tough task there, taking on the big fella.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Set, 180.
Now a first down throw, Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. Darren Lee in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down.
Set, lady.
From the gun, here's Stafford to Mixon on the check down. Mixon hit, and all the ball is out. And does the defense have it? They do, says the referee. We're going the other way.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here.
And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me.
And he's going to be wrapped up and driven down. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's our home team here in possession of the football as we come back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Rodgers throwing on second down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Devontae Adams, the intended receiver, and it's third down.
Well, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turned into a nice play.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. And that is incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back.
And Gold is able to put it through. And that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard.
And this is incomplete. He was looking for Matthews that time, and now it's third down. Really solid coverage from the current NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Also had an interception in that game a week ago.
And it was fun to watch him in practice this week, wasn't it? To see how he understands spacing and when the ball's arriving, which hand to put out in front to try and knock it away. And he just exhibited it on that play.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. And incomplete here on third down. It's been this way most of the afternoon, hasn't it? This secondary really put this receiving core on lockdown.
Listen, they've worked together like a basketball team that's playing excellent defense. Great communication, doesn't matter whether it's man or zone. And especially against deep balls, as we saw there, they're not giving up anything to him.
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. Nearly a huge return, as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Rodgers looking to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25. A really nice gain of 25 yards. And they They try the sweep to Jones. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Rodgers to throw on second down. Going to throw deep for the end zone. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. That is now 7 interceptions between last week and this week. 3 in this game, 4 a week ago.
And I saw the head coach write on his play sheet, make a little note. I hope he's writing self-scout. Bring in the guys that scout games for you with a different eye and watch him and see what's going on. And maybe they can pick up what the flaws are, and hopefully they can correct them.
And what are the whistles for? Timeout. So they'll stop the clock here in a game that's been decided in the closing seconds. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Stafford. He's going to let it fly. But his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Jair Alexander. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, Charles, it's one thing to win. It's another thing to win and put up the amount of points that they did. Boy, were they clicking on offense.
They can't help but feel great about themselves, can they? I mean, what a game to put up that number of points, continually feel like they're moving the ball and things are working and clicking. They think that they can bottle this and carry it with them.
And as an offensive coordinator, you just don't think you can do anything wrong. Whatever you call, run, pass, it's all going to work.
That's called being in the zone.
So for the Londoners, it'll be a 500 start as the win gets them back to 2-2. And now it's off to Heathrow as they get set to fly back to the U.S. in a couple hours. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they'll drop down to 1-3. And fortunately for them, they'll have the early bye next week as they return to action in Week 6. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.